No, it just cut off. Just cut off. That's all right. That's all right. That was
not meant to be.
That was meant for the people who
Wrong.
heard it, because that was he was giving a lot. He was giving a lot, and it was a lot. Can't really use it. Here we go. That's okay. That is okay. That is okay. That was a lot. And if you didn't catch it, I'm so sorry. If you ain't catch it, you ain't catch it. Because we get into some. You see the universe is working. You see what's happening. You see the universe.
That might have been Pops tapping in for a second, and
You might have.
I don't know what that was. I was like, damn.
Because that ain't out of all the classes and out of all the weeks that we've been doing this, that ain't never happened. It might have jumped in the beginning, but it ain't never shut off and not saved like that.
Oh wow.
Interesting. Interesting.
Well,
Very.
I'm not gonna try to repeat all that, but I'll just, your question was asking me just like, about this experience and what it's felt like, and it really has been a turning point in my life, because I've really been able to just, I've been doing block parties since I was it's funny. Pharaoh's here. Pharaoh did a live rap battle with OHM at my last block. I think it was my last block party, 2013. And it was crazy. They was both frying each other up. It was it was funny, like, but it was all good in love. It was just an idea, we had, and they was both down to do it, and they did it. And people really enjoyed it. And I've been doing this for a long time, but this year really, I think the word is encapsulated, or just encapsulated. So I think that's the word. Really embodied. It really, just captured the full meaning of the work. And I think people were there for the festivals and stuff, but I think they understood the, just the larger picture of the message that we were trying to, not just the message we were trying to get across, because words are great and hey, slogans are great, but really the culture we were trying to instill of reclaiming, ownership, and the importance of, the collective commerce, which I'll say collective commerce a million times on this, John, and a million times more, because it's just so important. You gotta break bread with the folks, and we gotta keep those dollars circulating. So yeah, this really has been and you know what? Let me talk about this just for a second, because we got time and we got cut off, right? And to be honest with you, I went to happy hour before this. Shout out to DJ and Young Honey Dip vibe check this Friday. We all went to hang out. We had a couple margaritas. I'm a person who's dealt with like depression before in my life. I can't really tell you like why. Like it wasn't. I have had some losses, but I don't even know. Who knows why it comes on? But um, it is something I've experienced in my life, and I've had some low points, and I'm really only sharing this now just to whoever may be listening to just you know, not that we all deal with depression, but we all deal with sadness in our different ways and just how that may be. And those times I was going through that. I still drink, I turn up, but yeah, I was doing it for different reasons, man. And just real angry, and I was ready to fight with anybody who wanted it, and uh, mad at my parents because I had all this student loan debt and all this crazy stuff. just normal life stuff. But hey, I realized it was really my mindset that was, causing it to just. It wasn't that there weren't things to maybe be upset about, but that the me. I think my mom uses the word like what do you steep tea? What was that? Steep, is
Yeah.
that the word? Like where you just like steep it and you just soak it and you just sit there, like that's where it turns into a different level. And so definitely this year, could have been a time where I could have went back that route, but I really decided I was like, hey, this is and Pop's probably, put a little shot in my arm somewhere from up there, or wherever he's at floating around. But I was like, yo, that's not it, bro. This is time to have my time to, still mourn, grieve. I'm probably still working on that. It's
Yeah.
still it hasn't been a year yet. But uh, I just encourage anybody who's out there who is going through stuff. This industry is tough, man. DJing and promoting events and all that stuff. You're working not necessarily check to check. It's like gig to gig. That's even worse. And it's great sometimes because you get paid well at the gigs, but it's still even check to check. The checks come in every week or every other week or whatever. Gig to gig can be hard for folks, and obviously there's seasons of it. Hey, summer's busy, fall may be good, winter slow. Like really trying to balance that, and um, hey, there's a lot of alcohol involved, and hey, for whatever it may say, hey, the connection between alcohol and all this other stuff, it's not usually great. It's fun in the
Yeah.
moment, but it can have its lingering effects. And so, I just encourage folks like, hey, lean into your circle a little bit. You know, it's tough for folks to ask for help sometimes, and I understand, but your friends are here, your friends love you, and you got to continuously build community uh, about build community around yourself. We have our friends we grew up with, our friends we went to high school with, our friends we went to college with, maybe our friends we work with, but we have our family, and these are all great things that kind of naturally align for you due to proximity. Um, but continuously just you can always continue to build community. And that's what I'm saying. Where my man says here, he's saying, don't be sad, be happy. Well, he's with the source. Use that emotional energy, manifest what you want. But that's what I'm kind of saying. That I think a lot of us we get into spaces where we're looking for validation from our closest folks, or we're not feeling like we're getting the support that we're supposed to for this and that. And I don't mean to make fun of it, but you'd be surprised. There are people out there who support you. There are people out there who love you if you let yourself be open to accepting it. And I'm still kind of working on how to accept compliments, but this year I was like, yo, whatever Black Soul, whatever y'all giving, we taking it or accepting it, because it is a lot of hard work, and it is work that is meant to benefit people in a communal space. And uh, yeah, this is the first time in my life where I've truly worked for myself, and haven't been reliant on anyone else who I haven't like chosen to be partners with. Um, and there's a lot of power and peace in that. And so I'm in a place of content, and I know for everybody they might not feel like they have their thing figured out right now. And I don't got this all figured out right now. Trust me. We did some numbers this year, but I told you we just getting started. But
Just going.
there's patience and practice has allowed this to come to fruition, and the fact that it has come to fruition like it has, even if they didn't go as successfully as they did, I think I still would have been in this space to really just appreciate all the love and joy that I've been able to witness. And the thank yous. That that shit is priceless.
You can't put a price on it. You can't. So what does success look like for you? Knowing that this is the beginning of this, knowing that you have the community, knowing that you have the energy, the time, and what does success look like for you?
Well, I could just hit you. I'm like, well, success for me, success for us, success for like who, or just what are we doing? What are we doing?
What is what? Take that question. However, what does it look like to you, to Brother Taj, to the businessman, to the DJ, to the vibe curator, to the community leader? What does success? How do you define?
To me, man, success. Always. I didn't write this, but there's a bar. Success equals love. How much love are you able to generate? How much love are you able to curate and manifest and give to the world and to the people around you? Success is love. It's not money. It's not assets. It's not opportunities. It's not real estate. I mean, man, think about all the people who've had all that and could never have love. Um, and I see my man has said success is freedom, but I agree with that. There is financial freedom, which is important. But when I talk about love, I mean it on a deeper level. And I spoke about this before we got cut off earlier. It's like, what's our code? And we got, oh man, Jess, what's up, sis? Done joined. She done. That's what I'm saying. The power of the spirit be working because she done joined right at the right moment because I was about to get into it. Jess, my sister from the West Philly Peace Party. When I say love, and I'm just going to talk as a black man. Some people might call me a cis het black man, straight black man, whatever black man you want to call me, whatever it may be, a West Indian black man, a nigga. I'll take it all. As a man, you're supposed to create prosperity and longevity. You're supposed to be a supporting factor in that. Now, women play a role in that too, children play a role in that too. But as a man, you do have a role. And so my man is talking about success is freedom, and I think because my man, I tell you over here, he knows how to, he knows how to get that check. When you talk about financial freedom, that means a lot of things. Obviously, it's ownership over your shelter, your home, your space, but also your way of life. Like, how do you feed your family? You know what I mean? You buying niggas Popeyes, even if you go in the what's it called, ShopRite, it's like you got to be real selective in that shit. And even if you go to Whole Foods, they got a bunch of bullshit in there too. They just, whatever. You do got to be, how are you feeding your family? What are you teaching your family? How are you educating your family about who they are and what their history is? And when I say feeding your family too, that's why I bring up the Peace Park, because that's a big portion there. Not only is it about land security, but it's like, we got to know how to grow food for ourselves and feed each other. Those are the things that I'm saying go under love. As a man, you love your people. This is what the things that you need to be, not being the leader of all the time or whatever, but you need to be very heavily invested in making sure that these things go on. And then it's also like your love for your fellow, not just your woman, but your fellow woman and man. Like, you're just your community, your peers, and how you treat others. Hey, just because this woman is not your one, hopefully you can treat your woman right. And we all working on it. Women are complex beings, and we're always learning. But hopefully you treat your woman right, but not just your woman, any woman you come across, that level of respect that you have and understanding, what their meaning is to the community. And then also your fellow man, and child as well. And so that's when I say like success is love. If you building on those things there, more than likely you got some family business going on, hopefully a trust or some kind of thing in place. You know what I mean? But the financials is, hey man, there's a lot of people who got a lot of money and don't got no freedom, yo.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just being able to get on a flight and go here. If somebody is still constantly in control of your likeliness, your being, you get a call at any time saying, "Hey, you can't do that." It's. I think it's very subjective in the eyes of how it is viewed in this society now, but it should be more objective. Where, um, you know, how I view success is it's being able to provide a sense of security along those things that I mentioned, so that you know, uh, uh, my family, my community, my brothers, my sisters, my children, my they understand, um, their power. And my man, I'm saying, my people, they talking, and the knowledge of self and the power that we have as a communal being. This is why there's so many efforts and initiatives to separate us in every way, gender-wise, sexually, preference, age-wise, color-wise, ethnicity-wise. There's so education-wise, money-wise. There's so many different ways that I'll just say the global capitalist society tries to keep Black folks separated because they know, oh my God forbid Black folks just did if Black folks did any one thing all together, it'd be the most probably powerful thing that ever fucking happened ever in history. They can't allow that shit. And again, I know I'm straying a bit around, I'm bouncing around the question, but success is re-educating and reinstilling that power and pride and understanding of who we are and what we're capable of. That's what success is to me. And if I ain't being a pillar of making you walk around like, together we can do this. And shout out to Tame, shout out to Nash, and shout out to, I'm gonna say, Stocked Up. Shout out to Soul Fed with Mylena, Bobby Flowers with Hips. There's a couple other folks we did events with this summer, but it's different when we walk around together. It's different, and they always had friends and groups, but even they would say that they I don't speak for them, but they've said it to me that they felt different working as a family, as a collective, as a unit. And this unit isn't just us. We're just the ones who are just putting some pillars. Pyramids gotta go. You gotta build a foundation, and we just in here, digging some soil, planting some seeds, building that foundation, so that even if you, hey, I don't care. Go start. I wish there were 1,000 Black Soul Summers all over the country, or all over the world. I don't care. Go start it. I'm not worried about that. If we doing it in this sense of like for us, by us, in that collective mentality. Now, if there's going to be 1,000 Black Soul Summers, they better be connected in some way, or else I'll be pissed off. But other than that, because I'll be like, well, goddamn, y'all missed the message, my brothers. Y'all missed that. But I got to make sure that when and if, I'm going to say, but when and if I have children and then, I raise them and that they know what it means to like, you ain't no pawn in the scheme. You ain't working for nobody else. You're not doing this for no check.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing this out of love, and love equals sustainability, prosperity, longevity, collaboration, understanding, peace, love. Like that's what you're doing it for. And man, I wish I was a little more money focused. I need some goddamn money. I see some people pulling up the hundreds. If you got 100, send me a dub. But let a
The
brother
both
get a dub.
radio and production.
But other than that, man, not that that comes. That's much later in the list for us.
Mm-hmm. But I love that, and that is that again, all those gems that you dropped, that over answering of that is what physically manifests from everything that I've seen out of especially the all up, out of every time, because we tapped into the party via the stream this year because we were over here in Asia. Like
Hey,
the togetherness, the no matter how certain or certain things, entities try and separate us, no matter what, we are still together in this. And that's what I loved about the block parties, is that everybody, literally everybody, was invited and you can come. There was like the voguing and the dancing and the different DJs and the different types of, and the different people and the different races and the different colors, and everybody there because they were there because they know we have to do it together. They know that we have to do it out of love, which is what I love about that. But out of all of this, right? Out of you just leading a new generation, out of you doing all of this, being business minded, being a fantastic DJ that you are, when you jump on radio, when you have to just back up and to be, how does self-care fit into that for you? What does taking care of yourself look like? Not taking care of
oh shit!
not taking care of, the
Oh, you see,
financial.
I gotta show the great.
Oh, I lost.
When you,
I can't wear these damn
because
AirPods. Every time I put them in, something fall out. Yeah.
something I'm learning, I just got reminded of again recently, is that you can't pour from an. If you run yourself into the ground, it's you hustling backwards. So when you have a moment for you,
I'm gonna start by saying, man, self care is like it's so important, and regardless of your mental, spiritual mission, you gotta. You're right. You gotta pour into yourself, and you gotta find those avenues to rejuvenate, physically and emotionally. Because the work it is draining, not just from a labor or mental standpoint, but hey, I manage a lot of communications with just the folks who are involved, and I don't even do all of them. Hey, luckily with Melvin, he handles the other half. But there's a lot of communications that go into this, a lot of personalities you have to maneuver around, and you do have to be centered. What I'll say, and it's kind of not really an answer. I will answer your question, but and this is kind of the answer. My biggest self care is my spiritual center, and I really just, I mean, man, God bless me, man. I just chalk that up to my parents, kind of. I've had my own spiritual journey, not to the fullest extent, I don't think yet, but my parents really instilled that uh, mentality in me that there is no death, that I am here for a purpose, that I was chosen for something, and so I always kind of got into that even early on, and so I'll do the best job of it. But a lot of my self care is like tapping in with that. Like I pray in the morning, I pray at night, but I'm like I'm constantly talking to God, man, ancestors. When I'm just moving around, I'm constantly just in tune with that and trying to just listen, just be aware to my physical surroundings, but also just that thought that, when I walk around, I ain't walking by myself. You know what I'm saying? It sounds cocky, man, and I hope nobody's sitting on his live like, oh, let me show this nigga. But I feel like when I walk that, hey, at least the spirit of the ancestors is behind me, and that with that comes some. I'm not immune like to anything like anybody else, but that my self-care comes from believing that there's some level of protection there as I stay tapped in with the ancestors. That, hey man, I can't walk around here. I mean, talk about being a nigga in this city, you kidding me? And I'm in the midst of it. I talk about it all the time, LP, and this is another conversation, but with the work I do, I'm not just susceptible to like hood shit. I'm susceptible to like the other side of the crazy people who are not black too. And so, walking around, man, there's a level of fear, and I think like not fear, but like caution that you always have to have, and I still maintain that vigilance, but man, a lot of my self-care, at least that initial layer, that macro layer, is like, yo, man, as long as I continue to do right and do well by others to the best of my ability, that I'm going to be okay. And I'm going to continue to move forward in this work and in this journey. And I'm a very emotional person. And just having that layer there as like the base, that really helps. And, other than that, man, I like to, I'm kind of weird. Like I have my moments where I just don't want to talk to nobody. I get real quiet. I'll just watch some random, like I don't really watch TV or Netflix, but I'll like let the stuff play while I just kind of zone out and do other stuff. And honestly, I'll say anybody watching who's not in there needs a little motivation. That gym helps, I've been going to the gym. I try to go, at least probably 4 times a week, maybe 4 or 5. It's the most cliche thing, but you don't have to go to the gym, but whatever daily exercise you're able to get, like it doesn't matter what your physical, you might be, hey, you could be overweight, you might be underweight, you might be skinny, you might be big bones, you might whatever, like tall, whatever, like that part it's important. Maybe you might do some different exercises depending on your body type, but regardless of any of your physical appearance, you're again, it's that holistic approach. It's your physical, it's your mental, it's your emotional, it's your spiritual. You get in there and do some cardio, lift some weights, some calisthenics, whatever it is. It just gives you a little more. It removes some of that. You're literally sweating out some of those what they call toxins, stress, whatever it may be. You're literally removing it out of your body, and then you start to look a little bit better too, and that always feels good. All right, one other one I'm gonna throw you in because I got the hat on today. I don't even got it, but your boy, I've been making sure I stay with the fresh cut too. You know what I'm saying? I stay with the fresh fade. I'm sure some of the ladies you done interviewed done said something about their beauty or their lays or whatever, their fashion. I'm gonna stay with the fresh cut. You know what I mean? Fresh fade. Shout out to my man Pete. He hooks it up. But yeah, LP, I need to do more work in my self-care. So, I need to eat a little, I need to do more. We all do, but I'll tell you that base of the spiritual base of, like I said, I'm not immune from anything like anybody else, but I'm gonna believe that as long as I'm doing communal work and tapping in with my ancestors, that our ancestors, that they're gonna want to see me continue to do the work, and that's all I can really hope for, and that's my greatest layer of peace right there. That's not necessarily my self-love, but it's my greatest layer of peace.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that brings you back to a level, especially when you because I get it. Sometimes when you just sit and zone out, especially doing the kind of work that you do, when you walk around and you have that energy and that backing, because there are certain things that you could not accomplish, or certain things that we could not accomplish without that energy, without being like, you know what, we just gotta let go and know that our ancestors got our back. Just know that the energy that we walking into, we gonna be good. So that's a beautiful answer. This is by far, I want to say, the longest body of work we've done so far. But
Oh, I
again,
know.
this is why no. This is why. But this is why the universe, right? And I'm gonna stay on that tip right before we jump into take it or leave it, the quick little game.
Mhm.
This is why the ancestors. This is why the universe. This is why God did. This is why, whatever you want to call it. This is why it had you close out this week in this way, because of, again, I wrote down and I took notes of the joints from earlier. But if they didn't catch it, then they ain't catch it. It's whatever. But even in
Some
the
people was
second,
tapped in.
they
Yes.
was tapped in. They heard it. They whatever. But
Uh-huh.
even in the second part, even in the second half, there were things that you were saying that just will resonate for a very long time with people. And again, moving in that, I don't think it's, coming from my perspective, I don't think it's hella braggadocious by talking about moving as if you have ancestral backing, because that will allow you to do certain things that you didn't think that you could do before, i.e. jump across to the other hemisphere, i.e. do the kind of work that you do, i.e. do the kind of work that we've been doing over here at R&R. So again, that was a perfect answer to how you self-love. And again, yes, we all need to as well.
Well, I
Show a little
just
more
want to add one
self-care
thing
to
there because you make
ourselves.
such a good point. Because it's like we yes, this is our life. This is I am Salim Taj Sabri. Um, I'm an individual. We all have our individual experiences, but when we start to step a little bit out of that and realize that we are not alone in this journey, not only with the people who are physically amongst us, but also spiritually who have come before us, who have helped pave the way to create opportunities for us to even be in this position to have these kind of conversations. Um, I mean, hey, if you really wanted to go deep, there's some ancestors who made it possible for Instagram Live to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is that when we talk about this time that we're in, that is, I mean, man, it is. It's a troubling time. There's a lot of beauty, there's a lot of light, but it's a troubling time. But it's a specific time in human history, universal history, where you have to start to be okay with allowing yourself to connect with the spirit and energy around you in order to maneuver a lot of this shit that's going on. If you stay in your space, or you want to just be with, oh, I'm just going to confide in my spouse, or I'm just going to confide in my mother or my coworker, that does work, and you do need to have that. Have your spread it out amongst the people you know physically, but there has to be some point where, if you're really going to trust yourself and making these life decisions, where you have to have some kind of understanding that it's not maybe all up to you, and that,
Mm-hmm.
hey, if you're moving in the spirit and right direction, that there will be support for you, even if nobody's fucking clapping. Stop worrying about what your girlfriend or your mom or your dad or your brother or your teacher, like, those people are important, but we still have this other voice that is with us in every moment, if we're there to listen and understand that you are more than just yourself as this person. You are connected to something much much greater than just you. And there's a lot of clarity and peace in that space, even amongst the turmoil.
Brother Taj, man, my lord, what a time we always have. This is we going, because again, when we switch to the long form, we gonna be back on. We're gonna rap some more. But
Okay.
This
is the start of the long form.
We're gonna switch it up for it. We're gonna switch it up for a second. This is the part of the show I loved it. I loved that's why I just let you go off. But this is the part of the show where we jump into a quick little game called Take It or Leave It. Now, for those of you watching live, shout out to everybody still on the live. Watching live or on the playback. If you don't know how it goes, here's how it goes. If you take something, that means you would invite it to every single Black Soul Summer event. That means you would give it love and hugs. That means you would invite it to this lit happy hour that you just came from. If you leave it, that means you are not sharing the secret gems to generational wealth. That means you are not giving it a salad. That means you are not banging with it. So first up on the list for you, Brother Taj, the Western Conference of the NBA. I know you're a huge Boston fan.
Oh man!
Are you taking it?
Start with it. I'm leaving it this year, or going into the next season. East Coast team winning the championship. Celtics should have had it this past year. They're coming back and they're getting it this year, baby. The Celtics are winning the championship this year. Jason Tatum, leave that West Coast shit over there.
Heard. All right. We went a whole different direction. I knew it. Okay. Next up, manicures. Are you taking them or are you leaving them?
I mean, them joints be pricey, but I'm gonna go ahead and take that. I'm gonna take that for the ladies and the fellas. I'm gonna take that.
Self-care. It's nice to be nice to yourself. Next up, written notes, handwritten notes.
Ooh,
are you taking them?
That? Are you taking that? But just give me a little spritz of the perfume on it too, or the little kiss of the lipstick, make it real old school, like I was in World War II or something.
Heard. Okay. Fresh fruits. Fresh fruits. Are you taking them or are you leaving them?
Oh, take it all day. Honestly, I've been eating my fruits, but I'm taking it. I need it.
Bet. Web3 in the new version of the internet.
Oh, leave that shit. Leave it. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry to anybody watching. Like, it's the new thing, Todd. No, leave that shit where it's at. Y'all doing too much with this internet stuff. Like, we need to get back to in real life. Y'all want to live in the metaverse and Web3. Leave it. Who's on that? Zuckerberg or somebody else? Just leave it. Just leave it.
I'm on that. We'll talk about it. Oh
God.
We'll talk about it. And I swore I wrote this one down before you even came on with this hat. Lions, the animal. Lions. Are you taking them or are you leaving them?
It's gonna sound tough to folks. I do rock with my Leos. Shout out to my Leos out there. I'm an Aries brother. Leo's airy, very, very compatible fire sign. But this whole like King of the Jungle stuff, I'm not buying it. I'm rocking with turtles, elephants, them niggas, alligators. I'm pretty sure them niggas, all three of them niggas have been around much longer than lions. But I could be wrong. I know lions have been holding it down for a minute, but not longer than turtles or alligators. Them niggas been around for a minute. And so about elephants too, I think. But nah, I'm leaving it. I thought you was gonna say Detroit Lions, but you said animals, so
Nah. And the last one that we typically end off with here at Body of Work, books. Are you taking them or are you leaving them?
Lord have mercy, man. You got me with the fresh fruits. You got me with the books. I have started reading a little bit more. I've tried to, that's part of my self-care routine, getting back into some you know, just educational, motivational, spiritual literature. I haven't said that word in a minute. So I'm taking them. I will say though, I've fallen off. Like college, high school, college, I was a reader. Somewhere between the age of 25 and 30, I just stopped reading as much. So whoever want to judge me on that, fine, I'm admitting it, but I'm getting back on it, and don't don't try to challenge me on nothing, because I'm gonna be right up.
We're not. It's all love over here. We love it. Brother Taj, my G, my guy, absolutely magnificent conversation. Thank you. I remember
Thank you.
again, and to end out, I remember that ride that we took in your car that one time, early on, even before the first block party. We had a conversation. You was like, my G, just know the vision. If you rocking with it, we rocking with it, and just know that the longevity is there. So I greatly appreciate you. I'm thankful to the universe for having you actually close out this class in the way that you did. So do you have any last words? Do you have any shout outs? Do you have anything else coming down the pipe
No,
there?
man, I'll just say, yo, go follow Black Soul Summer, man. We've been rocking, and I know it says summer in there, but we all year round, man. We're keeping this shit hot. So blacksoulsummer.com. You know, this year we had one of our like beta website that did numbers, but you know, it's time that we're working and reinvested and planning for following or this next coming year. So really, just shout out to my partners, my man Melodramatic, Tame Arts, DJ Nash, Mill Creek Community Partners. We'll see them on Saturday at the Hip Hop and Jazz Fest. And yeah, man, shout outs to you, LP, man, because this is I appreciate your consistency. I love the lineups and folks you've been reaching out to, and just the diversity there. Um, I know the Instagram lives were super hot for a moment, and maybe they've fizzled out some, but I think this is still a good medium for folks to be able to connect internationally and have these kind of conversations. So, shout out to you for waking up ass early to, get this scheduled, and shout out to the Wi-Fi over there in Vietnam for holding you down. And yeah, man, we got to continue to just stay on this course. We got to stop being so afraid to do black stuff for black people. It's like, oh my God, why does it got to be black? And what does this mean? It's just, come on, it's okay. All cultures of people do it. It's a part of love. It's a part of longevity. It's part of prosperity. And Black Soul Summer ain't all black. If you came to any of those events, there was plenty of people there, many different ethnic backgrounds and races. So, just shout out to all of our supporters and anyone who tuned in on this live. I really appreciate y'all, man. I do, because it's tough work, and hey, I ain't got all the followers and stuff, but I trust y'all know me in real life somewhere, and if this Instagram thing ever went down, we would still be rocking. So, thank you for inviting me out tonight, and I'm gonna be out there. Shit, you better send me the deets, bro, because I'm trying to get out there.
We gonna
Maybe sooner than
listen.
later. You gotta let me know the seasons or something. I don't know.
I've been checking out different streets. There's some nice block party blocks out here. We gonna get that percolating. But yes, of course, absolutely, always, my G. We love you here. And as always, shout outs to Crenshaw Coffee Co. And Hot and Cool Cafe. Go to your local roastery and demand that they brew in Crenshaw Coffee Co. coffee. Shout outs to De La Nona. Shout outs to, as always, Sync Productions and Black Soul Summer. And we just happen to have the founder CEO of that joint on here today, spilling giving gems. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to All Love. Shout out to NVC. Again, New Visions, y'all are magnificent. Shout out to FamFX. Hashtag y'all should be trading. Shout out to Garden Parties. 700 Club. Shout out to everybody in Philly, up and down the East Coast. Shout out to everybody in LA. RIP to PNB. That was a very, very sad way to start yesterday morning off for me. And shout outs to everybody here in Ho Chi Minh, Saigon. Xin Chao, we love you. We thank you from T-Dot, from Selena, from myself, and everybody at Long Sleeve. We love you. We thank you. Brother Taj, you just came through and crushed the building.
Well, you know, I had to run it back for the second part because, you know.
Listen, you didn't hit us with a double disc. You hit us with a double disc of body of work.
Side, bro. I got you.
That's a true DJ for you right there. We love y'all.
Much love, LP.
Peace.
Peace.